any opportunity to celebrate, it's always diamonds up.
Good morning. Whoa, that delay. We're back. Let's go. We're here. I'm gonna get comfortable in my new shack chair. Good morning. Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm gonna lean back today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, man. Really just always excited to be here with you guys, man. Tuesday, another day, another opportunity to try to be great, try to have fun. Shout out to my Lodies, my Blap Gods, RJC, Mr. Griffin, Bufo, my boy, P Status in here. Man, Anush is in here. A-Run, shout to A-Run, shout to Black Man 103. Shout to Melvin Flint. Sleepy Montana's in here. Man, all the fam is in here. Jewel B, Rolly. Man, MK Ultra's in here. What's up, man? Solar Monster. So, yeah, man. First, I want to say, let's do the YouTube thing. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave comments after the video is posted so we can let YouTube know that like this is cool and that we all want to be here and this is, you know, value for you guys. I want to keep doing this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. If you noticed, I switched to 10:30. 10:30 is a little bit of a better time for me, because the mornings can get a little hectic with a million things going on, so I had to switch it to 10:30. So seems like you guys don't mind. Definitely thank you guys for not minding the 10:30 change. But yeah, man, we're here. Really had fun yesterday talking to you guys. I think yesterday's conversation was definitely important. I mean, it was brief, but it was definitely important. You know, I'm really just always pushing for, let me lower this a little bit. I'm always trying to push for productivity, and like actually getting things done. And, you know, I want to use myself as an example always of someone who takes his own advice, you know, like I'll never tell you guys something without having, you know, my own experience in doing it or trying it, because that would be weird. That would be kind of weird, you know. I like to take my own advice. I like to try things and you know, just tell you guys things from my own perspective so that you can take those perspectives and, you know, apply them to your own life. And that's what I love about these conversations. That's what I love about these Q&As and the you know, just the ability to just talk to you guys and do this. So shout to Ciso from South Africa. What up, dog? Appreciate you tuning in all the way from South Africa, man. Shout to everyone from overseas, man. If you're in Europe, if you're in Asia, Africa, Australia, wherever you are in the world, thank you for tuning in, seriously. So yesterday we had a good convo. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell icon, leave comments down below, all that good stuff. Really appreciate you guys being here. And today what we're going to do is we're going to do some Q&A. We're going to do some Q&A. So a lot of you guys asked some really good questions yesterday, but I really didn't get to answer too many because we were just sort of stuck on one thing, which is good. I mean, I think the goal of these like morning talks is to get some conversation going and provide as much valuable information as possible to you guys in the amount of time that we have, right? And my belief is that, or my hope is that, you know, someone watches one of these live streams in the future and like gets inspired and learns something that can change their life, or you know, at least contribute to like the trajectory of what they're doing and what they're trying to pursue, you know. So go ahead and ask some questions. You know, we'll let you guys steer the conversation. Shout out to my squad of knights. Shout out to my IPCs. Shout out to everyone who ever bought a drum kit. Shout out to everybody who's been to a Past the Aux. Shout out to everyone who I've met in person that I was able to take a picture with. Shout to everyone who has contributed or interacted in any kind of way with what I've been doing and what I continue to do. I take none of you for granted. I'm appreciative of even just one person like giving a fuck, because all I want to do really is make music, enjoy, have fun, and acquire information along the way that I can deploy back to you guys, and then wash, rinse, repeat. So it's be a producer, go out and try things, make music, enjoy life, experience joy, retain information from experience, and then get over here on YouTube or any other platform that I go on and try to convey my experiences to you guys and try to give back the information and give back the inspiration that could potentially, you know, help other people in their journey. And that's literally all I give a fuck about. You know, it's the circle of life. It's literally like anything else. You know, it's I look at it the same as like trees and plants, where, you know, it's crazy. Like, we breathe in oxygen and then we breathe out CO2. Oxygen comes in, we breathe out, it's CO2, and then trees and plants breathe in CO2 and breathe out oxygen. I mean, if that's not the definition of like full circle and like a sort of like natural ecosystem of give and receive, give, receive, give, receive, I don't know what is. And so as the years go by, I learn more and more the value of give, receive, and giving without expectation. You know, you know, right? It's like when we breathe in, like, this is going to sound a little weird right now, but let me get a little philosophical for a second. But we breathe oxygen. We're human beings. No matter where we are on Earth, pretty much for the most part, there's oxygen, and we breathe it in. But when we breathe in oxygen, we don't think to ourselves, every time we take a breath, we don't think to ourselves, oh, like, you know, I hope there's more oxygen. I hope that the tree in my neighborhood like takes in CO2 and gives me more oxygen. Like, we're not thinking about that stuff. It's nature. It just happens. We have faith that, I'm going to sound a little weird for a second, but we have faith that plants and trees and the earth will provide oxygen for us to breathe. And we're also not thinking too much about the CO2 that we're breathing out. And so we have faith. It feels very natural. And I'm starting to realize more that the natural flow of things is part of life. And when you start to embrace natural flow, money comes in, money goes out. I spend, you know, hours and hours and hours and days making beats. The beats go out and then they naturally do their thing. So I think as a species, we've sort of got caught up in like the details and the strategy. And mind you, details and strategy are important for sure, but you can't get caught up in thinking that there's a strategy for everything. Like, you know, I think people took 48 Laws of Power too literally. And I love Robert Greene and I love that book. But we can't take these things too seriously and too literal, because we live in this natural ecosystem called the earth, and we're a species called human beings, and our natural state is there's a flow to it. There's a vibration. There's an energy flow to it. I'm gonna sound real boho right now, but I don't care. There's a flow, and so everything we do is just there's a natural flow and rotation, and so we have to start embracing that more, guys. You know, I've realized how powerful that is. Shout to Dan Tana, welcome. Blap God, let's go. Appreciate you, Dan. You got your badge. Let's go. Flow. Letting go. Let things happen. Work, experience joy, but don't get caught up in trying to predict, right? It's like the just always remind yourself of the oxygen and CO2 breathing in, breathing out relationship with plants and with trees. Gabe Lincoln, welcome. We got 2 Blap Gods. Brand new. Welcome to the club, guys. Appreciate you guys, man. So all I'm saying, and then we'll get to some questions because I want you guys to ask some questions, and I'll answer as many as possible. But I want that to be the message today. To start the message off is when you're feeling stressed, or you're feeling FOMO, or you're feeling like you've been working so hard and you're not getting results, think about the tree, think about the oxygen, think about flow, think about the nature of things, and be mindful of letting go, right? It's okay. There's always going to be more. There's let your vibration and your energy react in the way it should react with the world around you, and you'll be surprised, guys. You'll be surprised how really truly powerful that is, and will be for your life, you know. And again, look, I'm not like a fucking like law of attraction coach, or like I'm not like sitting here trying to pretend like I'm, you know, what's his name, whatever, the big like Tony Robbins. Like, I'm not those guys. I don't have any desire to be like those guys. I have zero interest in like wanting to play that role. I'm a musician, I'm a music producer, I'm a creative person. I like to build things, but what I'm telling you is part of my own experience, and man, it's real. It's really, really real. All right. Go ahead and ask a question. We're going to do some Q&A. I'm going to run through as many as possible. If you're in the chat room right now, go ahead and spit a question out. As many as you want. It could be about anything. It could be music related, non-music related. It doesn't matter. Let's try to fly through some questions and steer the conversation somewhere else. Wherever you want. Wherever you guys, wherever your heart desires, go ahead and ask a question. Don't be shy. There are no silly questions. Let's go. Okay, so 74K, my boy, Squatter Knights, said sock subs. Clarify that question for me, dog. Squad of Night subs, question mark. What do you mean? I want to answer. Solo to the Master, my boy, said, where you get the Aaliyah shirts? I know. I have like literally 10, 15 Aaliyah shirts. She's a goat, obviously. There's this website. I forgot the website. Honestly, I forgot the website, but there was this specific website, that sells vintage t-shirts, and I went on there and I saw like 3 Aaliyah shirts. I got all 3, and then I searched like the rest of the website, and there was like 10 or 15 of them, and I just bought all of them. So there you go. Okay, questions. SSP Sounds says, where are you at spiritually? I am probably in the best place that I've been. You know, when I was living in New York, which was literally just 2 months ago, and for that past year, I think I was sort of, I don't want to say I was going into a dark place, but I was going into a place of like questioning what I was doing and what I was around. And I've never felt that way before. And so in that last year, I'd probably say like starting last year, going into this year, I was really kind of focusing on the basics and like shifting my mindset and going back to those feelings of when I first started producing. You know, it's like what excites you? Why did you start making music? What brings you the most joy? And then also what helped me, dude, was like asking myself why more often regarding like everything that I do. So it's like, why are you on YouTube? Why do you want to, you know, why don't you feel like making music today? Or why do you want to start an NFT project? Why do you want to go ahead and teach yourself how to make plugins and create a plugin company? Why did you release drum kits? Why, you know, just why do you want to do things? And I'm asking myself this. And in that process of like asking myself why, I really started to feel more connected with who I am, what my purpose is in life, what the purpose is of the people in my life, and the purpose of where I am. And I realized like, yeah, I need to leave New York. I need to leave New York. I need to leave Brooklyn. Like, I've been kind of here. I've been in Brooklyn for 13 years. And all of these huge changes were happening in such short time. And I knew that there was something else for me. I knew that I didn't want to do another 5 years, 3 years, 10 years in Brooklyn, or just in New York. And so we made the move, you know, and I'm thankful to my queen and, well, both of my queens, my daughter and my wife. And we all made the move. And we said, you know what? We're going to just fucking switch this shit up, and we're going to go down. We're going to go to Miami and build a family and build our life there. And it's been 2 months, almost 2 months. It feels incredible. Excuse me, it feels incredible. You know, and so I think probably one of the best things that I did for myself was I asked myself why. Like, why I have to I'm like really embracing the idea of like being okay with like asking myself why I'm doing something, you know. And if you like the answer, and the answers feel good, and you know that the answers don't negatively impact people, then, you know, you should probably do it, right? So yeah, I'm in a great place spiritually for sure. It's a forever process of just like finding peace and not letting that inner voice kind of take over you. You know, knock on wood, let me knock on this prophet wood. I'm blessed, enough to have been able to work on that kind of stuff for a long time. So I don't really have like demons necessarily that are like brewing, that are like affecting my life. I'm at that point in my life now where like things are feeling good, and there's always more. Here's the thing, guys. When you reach success, like you see the plaques and the Grammys and the thing and all this, there's just it's a forever game. It never ends. And so you can't chase happiness by wanting more. You can always want more, but you have to feel like you already have it. Like, I don't feel like I want more. I feel like I literally have everything I want. Like, I'm living the dream. I have credits, so many credits under my belt. I've produced amazing records. I have the accolades. I have the finances. I have the Grammys. I have a child. I have a wife. I have this house. Like, I feel like I live in paradise. Like, I'm so grateful for this. Like, I can't even imagine like how amazing this is compared to like what it used to feel like when I used to dream about this. And so I continue to be thankful and grateful for you guys to have an audience, to just wake up in the morning and be like, what do I feel like doing today? I can do whatever the fuck I want, right? Like, I can afford a nanny. I can afford, daycare. And so, like, I'm just fucking living my life. Like, I can do whatever the hell I want. Like, I can go, if I need to go to LA fucking tomorrow, I can book a flight and go, right? Like, it's insane. And it took a lot of hard work, obviously, but I'll never get caught up in the I don't have enough. I am living in abundance, and my mission now is to just continue that abundance, continue to do what I love, and continue to give back as much as I can through YouTube, through, some of the other stuff I'm building that I can't wait to tell you about. I'm always building something, and all these things I build go on top of each other. And I'm going to continue on that journey and just, live every moment that I can in pure joy. EP said, what was your favorite record that you got placed? Favorite record? Man, I can't answer that. If I was on Drink Champs, I would take a shot right now because I can't answer that. I don't have a favorite, man. I mean, every record that I've placed, every plaque that you see, every credit that you see, there's a story. There's a special story behind every song and every record, and I'm so grateful for being a part of every single record that I've placed or that I was a part of. I never take it for granted. I'm super, super grateful and humbled for every single one. So it would be a disservice for me to tell you what my favorite one was, because then it would, in a way, it would sort of discredit all the other ones, number 2, number 3. So I can't even rank them, dude. I can't. Now, I have favorite songs for sure, but favorite record that got placed, man, I can't do it. I can't do it. JT says, any advice on trying to network? Okay, let's talk about this for a second. So, networking. I'm going to keep this really simple because I, for a long time, was pretty fascinated with the whole, like, industry networking and, like, how do you find, people to collaborate with or blah, blah, blah. So here's the number one mistake that I think most producers, most people make in terms of networking. It's 2 things. The first thing is people try to network upwards immediately. And when I say network upwards, people by default are trying to network with people more successful than them. And in a sense, sometimes that could work. But let me be real with you. From my own experience, from other people's experience, from, playing both sides of the fence, most of the time it is extremely ineffective. It is extremely difficult to skip. I'm gonna sound a little weird for a second. It's extremely difficult to skip vibrational steps. There's a vibrational hierarchy that you need to take step by step. I mean, it's like a flight, going up a flight of stairs, right? Like if there's 10 stairs, you can't get to stair number 9. It's physically impossible. I mean, you might be able to jump, but you'll probably bust your ass. And so you have to start with step number 1, and then step number 2, step number 3. So there's this vibrational hierarchy. And there are people that are vibrating extremely high. And if your vibration is low, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that they're better than you. But there are vibrational hierarchies, and based on where you are vibrating, it could be extremely difficult if you're sort of vibrating on this level and you're trying to associate or get to know or talk to people that are sort of vibrating here. And again, I don't want it to sound like a class thing where it's like, oh, you're better than me because you're vibrating over here, you're richer and more successful. But the reality of it is that in the context of us, as producers and musicians and blah blah blah, our artistic people, that hierarchy exists and you can't deny it, right? Like if you want to get to Drake, I always reference Drake because his vibration is so high. If you're an upcoming producer, chances are you're gonna go through a lot of friction to try to just get to Drake. And so I don't see that as a strategy that makes sense for networking, because you're playing you might as well gamble, because you're playing a game that has less than 1% success rate, if that. You're talking a 0.0000001% success rate in trying to approach networking in that way, where you try to just target everyone up here, all the superstars and all that stuff. Now, I don't want to say that to tell you not to do it, but I want you to be mindful of that strategy, because it's numbers, right? The chances of something happening are very, very, very slim. So not the best strategy. So I always tell people that that's the number one mistake. You're playing a 1% game. You're playing a 0.001% slot machine. Like you might as well just go gamble. Go to Vegas, go to the casino. You might as well just play like a really shitty game with like really bad odds, because that's the game, guys, that like most producers are playing. Most producers are hitting the slot machine and they're doing it for many years and they're not able to get there. So I would say don't play that game, or stay far away from that strategy. Now, the strategy that I always tell people, that I talk about a lot, that I've been talking about for many years now, is the idea of networking horizontal. So instead of networking upwards, networking vertically, you network horizontally, which means that you're interacting with people that you vibrate with, people that you vibe with, people that are on your vibration, people that you can relate to. And we're not categorizing people based on their success. We're categorizing people based on vibration, vibe, if you guys relate to something, and most importantly, or more importantly, people that have similar aspirations that you do, and people that you know and feel like are in this to do this, and have what it takes, and feel that similar desire to want to be successful. Those people are dangerous in a good way. Those people are dangerous. I mean, you meet people that have this fire inside of them, and I'm not talking about like a negative fire, like a resentful fire, or like a fuck everyone, I'm the best, or like a I should be number one, why am I not number one type of fire. I'm not talking about that fire. That fire is actually dangerous. You want to try to stay away from that type of fire. I'm talking about the type of fire that's passion. I'm talking about the passion fire, the oh, I love this shit. I wake up every morning and I fucking breathe this shit. And when I go to bed, it's all I could think about before I go to bed. Like that passion fire, you know? That's the fire I'm talking about. And those are the people that you want to try to vibrate with and vibe with and get to know, because it's extremely important to work with people that you know, they say, oh, I vibe with you or whatever. The bonus to that is working with people that have that drive and have that flame inside of them. And you know, you'll know. Like with me, for instance, like I tell people all the time, I'm like, I don't charge for beats, like for up and coming artists. Like I'm not going to charge you my rate. You can't afford my rate. You know what I mean? So like, if you can't afford my rate, like if you're an upcoming artist and you can't afford an Illmind beat, like I'm not gonna necessarily let that stop us from making good music or connecting in some way. So I just want to put that out there. You know, you can't afford my rate as an upcoming artist, but like if we vibe and like I see that passion, that drive in you that I'm talking about, the same drive I just talked about, like I'm probably gonna want to work with you. Like I'm gonna say, hey, like I'm in LA, come pull up to the studio and play me some music, and like maybe I'll load up a beat and you can, you know, drop some vocals and we'll you know, see if there's some synergy. Like that's how I've always approached it. That's how I still approach it. And so I think there's a value there when you're networking. You want to be mindful of like people that have that fire in their soul, but be very, very careful. Let me say this. Be very, very careful of people that have the wrong type of fire. Okay? There's people that have that fire that is a resentful flame. It's the, well, you know, fuck, they've been shitting on me all my life and I'm gonna go out here and prove all to all these motherfuckers. It's like it's the type of game theory that carries a sort of negative vibration to it. And sure, you know, you can get but so far with that type of energy. I mean, there's a hunger there. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it's under like a particular type of context, it's hard to sustain that, and it's frankly hard to be around that, to be honest, you know, because there's just so much built up like resentment and impatience and just, oh, I do this shit, yo, fuck you guys, like I'm gonna prove like I should be number one. Like, I mean, that works in sports sometimes, right? Like I'm gonna be the best basketball, like sure, you know what I mean, sure. And certain things like boxing, you know, like I mean, Tyson was one of the best mental, you know, just he had this ability to just like mentally believe in his soul that he was the best, that he needs to be number one, he's number one, and he became number one. But that's boxing. That's not music. Like, look, I understand oh, you know, it's like sports, but not really. Not really. Like, this is not, there's no winning team, guys. Like, there's no winner in the game of music. There's no like winner. You can get wins, But in terms of like being I'm number one, like forever. You're not going to be number one forever. And if not being number one forever, if you're not okay with that, you're going to have a big problem in this industry. Because no one is number one forever. There's always going to be someone out there that has more than you. And if that annoys you, and if that bothers you, and if that stresses you out, you're in for a treat, because there's always going to be someone out there that has more than you. So there's no end game. There's no winner at the end of the game. The game never ends. So what you're left with is the game, the process. That's what you're left with. And you can't get caught up in that I'm trying to be the best. Like, you will never be the best. You can have Grammys, and you can have like once you get one Grammy, you're gonna want two, and then you're gonna want. There's people that have 50 Grammys that are like, I'm not good enough, because like Jay-Z or whoever has like 51, so I need 52, or else I'm not happy. And then when you get to 52, you're like, okay, like it's never ending. So I know I kind of veered off a little bit, but that's those things are extremely important to keep in mind. Like, this is not a race to number one. Like, you can have a hot 100 number one song, but it's temporary. You're not number one forever, and it's great to aspire to do that, but just know that like it's never the end. It's never the end. You're not going to be number one forever. A Beastie Universe says, how long have you been producing for? 20 years? Maybe more than 20 at this point. I started making beats probably in like 2002, 2001. Like really, really going hard. It was like 01, 02, 03. That was when it was like, I'm going hard. I'm going to like make beats every day. Try to make beats every day. I was still in school, so it was like, but around that time. So yeah, about 20 years. 20 years. Heard M Voice last night on stream. Have you heard of this plugin? Yeah, I heard about that a while ago. That's the AI singing thing where you type in the words and they sing to whatever words you type. Really cool. I downloaded it. It's cool. I'll start messing with it a little bit. Okay. More questions. Let's see. Let me scroll here. Okay, so Eighth said, yo, Illmind, how do you manage a healthy work-life balance? Good question. Healthy work-life balance. It's a forever process. It's a forever process. I will say this, that if you have kids, I have one daughter. I have a kid. She's about 18 months. She's going on almost 18 months. February, March, April, May, June, July, August. 6, 7, 8, 18 months. God damn. She's getting big. When you have a kid, shit gets real. Okay? So I will say this. Time management's important, but I try not to be obsessive. I'm lately going back to the whole spiritual thing. Lately, I'm keeping a schedule, but I'm not like killing myself over it. Like, and that was sort of a cause of stress. I think that's a cause of stress for a lot of people, is like you think that you should be working harder. Where like it's cool to like work hard, but I think the negative impact that it makes sometimes is not worth the hard work. meaning the stress that comes with it most of the time is not worth it. I do things, I'm at that point in my life, and not just to say I do this because I have the luxury because of all this whatever, but I think there's a value in like prioritizing yourself and prioritizing your stress level, prioritizing your joy over everything else, right? So I do keep a work schedule, but I'm gonna get deep for a second. But I'm at that point where like I don't look at it like it's not work, it's life at this point. You know, it's life. Like I'm no longer treating this as like clocking in and clocking out. This is what I am, who I am, and this is what I do. And it never turns on and it never turns off. It's just in my fucking DNA at this point. Right? I'm not like, okay, 6 p.m. and I clock out. It's like, sure, in general, on average, I'll like end my day and like stop making music during the week. In general, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Like there's an average, but that doesn't mean I'm like clocking out. That's just me deciding to do something else at that moment, right? It's like, I'm approaching life now just in moments. Like if I can live every moment of my day with joy, then I'm good. Like I don't care if I made 10 beats or no beats. I don't care if like I was on YouTube for 5 hours, which you guys have seen I've done. I used to do that on Twitch. I mean, we were streaming 10 a.m. to fucking 4 p.m. Like that's a 6-hour day. I went hard for Twitch, but I'm no longer approaching things in this sort of like strict, like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. I'm like, you know what? Every moment is joy. If I feel like doing something, I'm going to do it. If I don't feel like doing something at any given moment, I'm not going to do it. You know, that's why I only pursue things that I love, because then that gives me the confidence to know that I'm going to keep doing it. And if I keep doing it, it's probably going to turn out like pretty good, you know? I hope that makes sense. That was kind of a, you know, maybe not the answer you wanted to hear, but that's just you know, where my mindset is at. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see if I have time for a few more questions here. Let's see. Yeah, RJC says there's nothing like finding an artist or musician that's just as passionate about the music you are. There's no exception. There's no exceptions except for the passion of the music. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so now Salihu, this sounds like a specific question. Now Salihu said, are selling my beats on BeatStars the route to go, or selling beat tapes on all platforms? Also, what are some ideas to do with your old beats? I'm going to give you the answer you're not going to want to hear. Now Salihu. This is going to be some straight up fucking... This isn't going to be an answer you're not going to like. But I want you to think about it. I want you to marinate on it. Do what feels right. It's crazy because as the years go by, I feel like my answers are getting simpler and simpler and simpler. Why? Because that's literally the answer to life. The answer to life is not like some fucking 10-step booklet that like you need to follow these 5 steps in order to accomplish this. Like that works in like mathematics. It works in baking. Like if you're baking like cookies or a cake, like yes, if you use too much baking powder, you will fuck it up. If you put too many eggs, you'll fuck it up. If you put too much milk or use the wrong type of milk, you're gonna fuck it up. Like that's cooking. That's baking. That's building a car. That's called, programming. That's like building a specific thing and knowing what the product is. That's what that's called. But this is called the music industry. This is called life. This is called making music. And none of these things are like baking a cake. Right? You can put a fucking gallon of baking powder in your musical cake and it could work. Right? But you can't do that in baking. Right? It's so funny. It's like human beings, we get this like, sorry to veer off a little bit, but like we get into this habit of like thinking that everything is a formula. Like we have to stop thinking that like life, everything in life, there's a formula to, because there isn't. And we only do that because we find comfort. Our brains are problem solving every moment of the day. We're solving problems, even down to our retinas in our eyes. Like we're taking in light and it's figuring out, okay, what are we looking at? We're looking at a computer. What are we looking at? We're looking at YouTube. What are we looking at? That's a cup of coffee. What are we looking at? The color green. Okay. Like without us knowing, so our brains are designed to problem solve. And so we do the same thing when it comes to other shit, where we're trying to figure out like the formula. There's no formula. If you want to sell beats on BeatStars, sell beats on BeatStars. And do it with confidence. Go ahead and try it. If you want to do beat tapes, try it. If you want to sell beats on YouTube, try it. If you want to sell beats on TikTok, try it. If you don't want to sell beats, don't sell beats. Maybe tell yourself, okay, well, selling beats doesn't really bring me joy. I'm going to go work with artists that I want to work with and I just want to make good music. Or, fuck it, let me try both, right? Like, we have to do less of the over-calculating and strategy finding and more of the, hey, I don't give a fuck, let me try it. The ones that say, I don't give a fuck, let me try it, are the ones that actually become successful. The ones that say, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to try it, are the ones that actually innovate. The ones that say, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to try it, are the ones that actually stumble upon and discover something that ends up being great. The ones that say, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to try it, are the ones that actually create a trend. And then everyone else follows. So, less giving a fuck and more let me try it. Right? This whole industry, this whole game is a process of trying stuff. You have to try things. If you're not willing to try things, you're not willing to win. If you're not willing to try things, you're in the wrong industry. Pick a career that gives you calculated results. If you want to calculate everything in your life, and now Salihu, I'm not talking to you. I don't want to make this feel like I'm directing this to you. But if you find ultimate comfort in needing and wanting to know the exact result of a particular input, then don't do music. Choose a field that gives you calculated results. And a lot of people do. And a lot of people are happy. And then that's it. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? There's nothing wrong with it. If you want to live a life where you know every single thing, go do it. No one's stopping you. But just know that the music industry and most artistic industries do not work in that way. Okay? We're not getting a salary right? When you live in a calculated hierarchy, 1 + 1 always equals 2. If you input X, you get Y, right? Every time you input X, you're going to get Y. X, Y, X, Y. I work 40 hours a week. I'm going to get $1,100 per week. 40 hours. I'm making numbers up. 40 hours, 1,100 to the T. No more, no less. So now that I know how much I'm getting, I know where I can do this, and this comes this, and this is calculated. Everything's calculated. That's fine. And it's okay to have certain calculations. You have to, right? In just everyday life. Like, you know. But what I'm saying is when you zoom out and you look at what's really happening, you can't calculate anything in the music industry. And so you have to ask yourself and be honest with yourself, like, am I built for this? Are you built to be that person that says, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to try? And if that's not you, then that's okay. Maybe you can turn into that. Maybe you can read books. Maybe you could try things. Maybe you could loosen up a little bit and then sort of jump into that energy and that mind state. People do it all the time. Right? But ultimately, it's your choice. Ultimately, it's your choice. Because for the 20 years that I've been doing this, not one thing has been calculated. Not one thing has been predicted. Not one thing. Guys, I want you to put yourself in my shoes. Can you imagine waking up every day for the next 20 years of your life and telling yourself, I don't know how much I'm getting paid. I don't know when I'm getting paid. I don't know what I'm doing today. I don't know what kind of music I'm making. I don't know when my next placement is. I don't know who I'm going to call today. I don't know who's calling me. I don't really know what I'm eating today. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know when my next opportunity is going to be. I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow. I don't know where I'm going to be next month. Imagine that. And you wake up and that's what it is every day. And do that for the next 20 years. That's what I did. And that's what I continue to do for the next 20 and 30 and 40 and 50. Okay? Now, the beauty in that is that you can do whatever the fuck you want. That's the beauty. You wake up and you say, I don't know who's calling me today. I don't know where I'll be today. I don't know what I'm eating today. Well, guess what? The world's your fucking oyster. If you can get to that point. The world is now your oyster. People are not telling you what to do. You don't have guidance. You don't have anyone telling you this is what you need to do from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You have to crunch these numbers and blah. No, there's no person. There's no company. There's no one. You're not on payroll. There's no one paying you. No one owes you a check. So it's up to you. So you literally, guys, you literally have a blank slate every morning. So now it becomes your choice. What do you do with that time? What do you do with that time? What do you do with that time? You have no boss. You have no one telling you what to do. You have no guy. No one's telling you to do this, do that. You got to fucking figure it out. Right? People kill for that freedom. People fucking kill for that freedom. People wait until they're 75, 65 for that type of freedom. You wait till you're 65 and then you retire, right? You have a 401k or whatever they call it. And then you have just enough money to like now do that. What are you going to do when you're 65? You're not building anything. Well, I mean, I don't want to, let's be fair. You can build at any age. But that's not going to fly. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not waiting until we're 65. Okay? So, choice is yours, man. Choice is yours. You know? 11:30. That is our time. Listen, I really wish every time I go on live stream, I always imagine running through like 100 questions. But I never ever get to like not even 10, barely. So, yeah, man, I wish I can get through more, but I think less is more sometimes, as long as what I'm saying is bringing some kind of value, then that's good. But Tuesday, 1 hour stream, not bad. Really appreciate you guys. We'll do this again tomorrow. Again, I'm just gonna keep doing these YouTube streams because I don't give a fuck. This is me trying. Guys, I'm forever trying things. And I'm forever gonna do things that I'm passionate about. And we're gonna let things flow. Right? I mean, look at my track record. I take my own advice. Try things. I'm not saying to do what I do, but do you. Like, think about what excites you and fucking go do it. Go do it. You have no boss. You are the boss. All right? So on that note, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. After this video post, I need a favor from you guys, actually. I actually need a huge favor, if you guys don't mind. I would love for you guys to do this. In the comments below, after we live stream, the video gets reposted, right? A lot of times you guys just leave or whatever, which is fine because you were here chatting. I need every single one of you guys to do me a favor. There's like 74 of you guys. After this video gets posted on YouTube, I want you to go to the comment section and leave a comment. Leave a comment, ask a question in the comment section, or just talk about, your thoughts on what we talked about today, right? Just like give us your thoughts or your own experience. Tell us about your own experience of what we talked about today. And I want us to kind of get into the habit of doing that in the comment section below after this video post. So if you're watching this right now and it's a replay, do me a favor, dude. Go down below in the comment section and leave a comment, because what that does is it helps the YouTube algorithm, So we're playing the YouTube game. We're giving YouTube what it wants. So in order for this to grow and for you guys to just for us to keep doing this and for you guys to meet each other and meet more people and bring more people in and expand the tribe here on YouTube, leave comments down below during this video, man, and it'll really help a lot. So I'll see you tomorrow, 10:30, same time, 10:30 p.m. a.m. Eastern, and I'll see you there. All right. Much more to come, much more to build. We'll talk tomorrow. I'm out. One love. Shout out to my Black Gods, my Lodies, my Squatter Knights, my Platinum Club. I have something even more special coming for you guys. I can't wait to show you. But first things first, we'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Any opportunity to celebrate, it's always diamonds up.